one of the things that really opened my eyes is on that deployment, and really on my previous deployments through my whole career, the Army and the Marine Corps had absolutely professionalized and doctrinalized how they trained leaders. So the Army would go to this the company career course, the career course they call it, which is a company level commander. And this was like a 6-month or a year-long school that these guys would get trained on how to lead their troops. And they have that at every level, enlisted and officer, in the Army and in the Marine Corps. And in the SEAL teams, there was almost nothing. There was a little junior officer training course that was, Leif ended up taking it over. When he took it over, it was, hey, this is where you're going to learn how to write evaluations. You're going to learn a little bit about writing Navy message traffic. It was, and you'd get some debriefs on some stuff, but you weren't going to actually learn any principles of leadership. And it was unbelievable that this was taking place. And I remember as I started to try and push this hard, I started going up my chain of command. And one of the things that I bring up the chain of command was Hamburger University. And Hamburger University, if you don't know, it's up in, I think it's in Schaumburg, Illinois. But if you're going to run a McDonald's, you've got to go to this course. And it's like a 6-month school that you go to. And so I remember sitting down with my boss and saying, hey, have you heard of Hamburger University? And what's that? I said, it's if you're going to run a freaking McDonald's, you're going to go to a 6-month training course on how to lead a McDonald's where you flip burgers and fry French fries. And we've got guys that are going to go out and oversee combat operations and have lives at risk. And we give them, they don't go to any school. This is a problem. And part of the problem is because we're a victim of our own success. So, hey, hey, Jocko, you just went on deployment. You came back. You did a good job. You were in charge. Okay, so what we're doing is working. And, hey, this other guy, Leif, you did good. You got mentored and you got trained up. So that what we're doing, the on-the-job training works. And it does work sometimes. But it also fails sometimes. And so now we find this in every industry. Hey, we got Echo Charles here. He's a good salesman. In fact, he's our best salesman. Let's put him in charge of sales. Well, what does he know about leadership? He knows how to sell stuff. He doesn't know anything about leading. Oh, we got Echo Charles here. He's our best mechanic. Okay, great. What are we going to do? Let's put him in charge of all the mechanics. He's good at turning a wrench. He's not good at leadership. And we just throw him in there. And for some reason, people think that leadership is something you're just born with or that you know how to do intuitively. And it's just factually not true. So what we encourage and what you're actually doing is, Echo, you're the best mechanic. We're going to take you and we're going to elevate you into a leadership position and we're going to train you how to lead, just like at one point we trained you on how to turn wrenches and repair this carburetor. We're going to train you the same way. And you've put a massive amount of investment into your leadership. And one of the earlier questions, when we started Echelon Front, I get asked, well, how are we gonna know if this works? What are the metrics to know if this succeeds? And I still to this day, I just had this conversation the other day. Whatever metric you're running at your company that means you are successful. So whether you're trying to cut the cost to produce, or you're trying to improve your time to produce, or you're trying to grow, or whatever metric you're looking at, if we do our job training your leaders, that metric, all those metrics that you're trying to improve on, they are all going to improve. That's what's going to happen. And that's where you say, hey, look, we actually we do some of these soft skill surveys now. And, what do you think of your leadership? And that's good too. That's good feedback. It's good feedback to say, hey, the leadership has a better relationship with the troops. That's great. The troops think the leadership is more in tune with what they're thinking and what they're saying. Those are great things to do as well. But for me, where the rubber meets the road is, hey, we're trying to produce this widget in this amount of time, and now we're doing it. We're cutting our costs. We're getting it out. Our salespeople are doing better. That's how we measure leadership success, is what is the success of the company. So as you invest, you get that ROI, and that's what I love about seeing the success of your company and some of the other companies that we work with, that we get to see this incredible growth. And I started this whole thing off saying leadership is the most important thing on the battlefield in business and life. And to look at a company like yours where you are proving how that works and how important it is and how you can grow things and how you can have 4,200 employees. And I'd love to, if you were fishing for a compliment, say, no, but Matt, it all starts with you. Hey, it does. I'll give you a compliment. It does start with you. But let's face it. You've got employees that haven't seen you in 3 months. You've got someone 100%. Right now making a decision in a basement
100%
on something that's happening, and that individual is making the right decision as a leader on the front lines. He's empowered to do that, and you couldn't see that if your life depended on it. You couldn't help that person make that decision, except for the fact that you already have helped them. Because you trained them as a leader, they understand the culture, they understand the mission of the company, and when you do that, it allows you to drive a company forward with people at every level leading, making the right decisions, and moving in the same direction strategically.